You've been on the Star bike a little bit now. How do you like the new bike? Let's just get right to that.
Well, I mean, it's no surprise. Obviously, it's very, very impressive. It's not just the bike. It's the whole package. With just each person and each member of the team is very much at such a high level to want to win. And I know that kind of sounds cliche, but just they can do so much to the bike. And I mean, you can get yourself lost in testing for sure.
Oh yeah.
But like, you know, there's a lot of, there's so much you can do. And no, the bike is very impressive. The whole crew is very impressive. And I'm really, happy and it's awesome to be around a group of guys and a crew that can push and test and develop as much as I want to and work with. And yeah, it's only been a few weeks. I've only been on the program with Swanee and training with the guys for a couple of weeks. But yeah, it's no surprise. Obviously it's impressive, but it's, I've been around a long time, been on a lot of teams. And even for me, I'm like, wow, these guys are doing the right things. That's for sure.
Yeah, you just said that you can get lost in testing, and no disrespect from your former team with Firepower and Yariv and everybody, but yeah, they have. You just said right. Star Yamaha has more options. So, what is the number one thing, if there is a number one thing, that you wanted to test to make the bike better or to feel more comfortable that you now have that option at Star?
Well, I mean, this is not the number one thing, of course, but it just brings me to a random point that yesterday we were out riding and I was dragging my clutch lever in like the inside mound of a turn. So like it was kind of like pulling my clutch lever in as I was going around the turn. I didn't even think about it, but then they turn around and go, oh, well, yeah, we've got a shorter clutch lever if you really want it, but for that kind of thing. Like, it's just things that you don't even think about that they have to be able to, to be able to go and do just those type of things. I think for me, just jumping on the bike and now, how the whole situation's worked out with Firepower and the crew, I'm extremely grateful for Yariv and the guys. We had a great Supercross season, and I was supposed to continue to race Australia and World Supercross, but we basically had a heart-to-heart and had a chat about it all, and it was just like, for me, I'm the World Supercross champion. I've achieved that in the 250 class. I've achieved the Australian Championship twice, and for me, I want to go all in to do the best job that I possibly can with Star Racing, and that means outdoors and Supercross. And for me, I'm a little older. I've been around a while. I know that these opportunities don't come often, and I've been waiting my whole career for this. And I was lucky and thankful to Yariv and the crew that they understood that, and they said, look, Max, you can basically go ahead and start on Star, and now I'm gonna race the rest of the outdoor championship and SMX, and it's mainly just I'm starting 6 months earlier than what I was supposed to, so I can get this testing and prep and work done for next year, so that whether I line up at Anaheim 1 or East Coast, whatever it is, and when I line up at Pala, it's not my first go round with the team. It's not my first national. It's not my first race. We know how to communicate. We know how to all work with each other, and I'm a little bit ahead of the game instead of jumping on a new bike and not knowing where I'm going to be at coming into the first race. So for me, it's an exciting next few months, and I'm looking forward to getting the ball rolling, and this whole process is just going to be an aid and a help going into next season. The guys at Star, the whole facility, they have they have so many riders, so they have so much information, so much knowledge, but also they're getting so much work done with testing and development. You're always progressing. Like even the few weeks that I've been here, I've tested like 3 or 4 different sets of suspension, because it's like, oh, this is the new stuff, this is the new setup, this is the new, and it's not crazy different. It's just like a few little steps here and there. So I think the just getting comfortable in the rideability, it honestly took me a couple of days, and I feel like I was happy. I was good to go. And I think that is just a testament to obviously how much work they've done. It's not like I was starting from zero. You know, even the first day they gave me the suspension, they're like, oh yeah, this is the base, but it's still, you know, had so many riders go through it all to get to this level. It's already at such a high level. So it's not like I was searching or you know, crazy off straight away. We were in the ballpark, you know, pretty much right away. And that's what you get with a team and a crew like this that you know, are, it sounds cliche, but they're all in. You know, each one of the people there are all in. It's really hard to explain because it just sounds like, oh yeah, I know what that means. You know, and everyone knows, you know, Firepower. They were like, everyone was good. Everyone thinks that they're all in. They all think they're all in, but they're not. When you really look at it, like these guys currently that I've been around in the last few weeks, I'm very impressed and very honored to be a part of it, because they are all, and it goes down to the riders too, like Haiden, straight up, you know, like he's there early doing starts, he's really putting in the work. The boys, everyone there, whether Cooper Webb shows up for a little bit, like they're, you know, giving his pointers and this and that and the other. It's, everyone is all in, and that's the only way I can explain it. It's a very nice atmosphere to be around, and one that, you know, I've been wanting to be a part of for a little while now.
How prepared are you for this race? You know, with comfortability with the bike and your physical training, like, are we 99, 100%? Are we that close, or how do we feel?
It's a tough one because I haven't actually raced a 250 in outdoors, like in a proper championship, like actually properly, since 2016. That was my last year in GPs, on my last year on 250s in GPs before I aged out over there at 23. So, so I haven't raced an American outdoor on a 250 since 2010. So it's basically like it's a whole long time. So, so for me, it's kind of a tricky one to know. I mean, you know, again, I'm with Star. I'm training with Haiden. I'm training with Jordon Smith. I'm training with Daxton Bennett. I'm training with the guys with Justin Cooper. I'm training with them now every day, pretty much for the last 2 weeks. So I know that the bike is obviously at such a high level. The base is good, but of course, racing outdoors is different. It's hot. So it's a tricky one to say. I feel good, but again, as far as it goes, like being super sharp and like, oh, I feel the best that I've ever felt. It's one of those where I don't think anyone does. I mean, we come off for 2 weeks. You come off Supercross, and in 2 weeks they're going into outdoors. Okay, they've got a few rounds to get going now. But I've had a couple of weeks, you know, 2 or 3 weeks of good riding outdoors. I did a couple of weeks of Supercross before that. Just to get a base on that, and I've had enough time on the bike. I think it's at a point now where I need to go racing just to fine tune things and see and learn the team, learn my mechanic, learn everything, so that if I make mistakes or I go the wrong direction with a direction with suspension or whatever it is, or gearing or whatever. It doesn't necessarily, you know, I'm not in the championship this year. It's more about finding those things out, getting the notes for next year, so that I can come back to these tracks and go, all right, this worked last year, this didn't work, this is where we're going to start. So, for me, it's about that right now. And, I feel good, but you never know until you get out there and go racing. I've been around long enough to know that. You can say that you have the best off season or the best, you're feeling the best ever, and then you go racing and it sucks. It's one of those where we're going to find out, and we're going to find out in a few days.
You just mentioned riding at Southwick, which obviously I think that's a pretty big benefit, right? To go there and really maybe get a little testing in and get comfortable and see what settings you like. Last time you were at Southwick, exactly. I think was 22 on a 450, where you got a 6th. How different does it feel on a 250? Was it massively different, or does it still feel kind of the same idea? Keep your flow, keep your momentum.
I think this bike's probably faster than that 450 that I rode.
Okay.
Facts.
So I think it's fine.
That's great.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about that. It was,
Okay.
I thought they put the 450 engine in when I went there, but geez.
We have a listener question. Austin Justice paid $4.99. Says, has Jensen talked to Max about team orders when it comes to racing Haiden, since he has the red plate and is Star's only championship hopeful?
No, I mean no, but it is in the contract. But no, I mean at the end of the day, I've been around Haiden a little bit the last few weeks. I'm not silly. Like I'm also not like I'm not doing any. I'm not going there to do anything crazy or do anything stupid. Like you don't even really need to have to. It's not like they need to say to me, "Don't clean Haiden Deegan out," because he's leading the championship. I obviously know that. Like I'm not. It's not my first time, and at the end of the day, I'm not in the championship. I'm there to learn and do the best job that I can do, and if I can be up near the front, fantastic. But and of course, like if it comes down to it later in the year, like that, I mean, he's not going to need it so far. He's already 30 points in front. He'll wrap it up by 2 rounds to go or something.
Yeah.
So it won't come to that. But I'm sure if it did, that it is what it is. I've been in situations like that before too on different teams. But no, it's not. The reason I'm racing outdoors is not for that. I mean, they don't need me for that. He's obviously already doing his job and doing a great job at it. So no, I'm there to race as hard as I can, but I'm not going to do anything silly. But I'm also not going to do anything silly to anyone else. Like I'm just a respectful racer anyway. But yeah, I'm not there to, obviously take us both out or do something crazy that's. I've been around long enough that I know kind of where the limit is with stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're gonna break Vital with the contract talk, with it's being in the contract to not hit Haiden.
No. I mean, it's in a lot of contracts. I have had it in contracts before that you have team, or if it comes down to it, it's team orders. It's not about one rider.
Right. It'd be the same for
someone
you.
who's in the championship. Yeah, like but it also can work the other way, like if you're leading the championship, it's only like, I don't even really know how it reads, but I've had it in multiple contracts across the board in Europe, in CPs, in US. It's a very common thing that is, if it comes down to it and it's super tight and you can obviously help your team out because it is still a team, then you would obviously do that. But fuck, I mean, it goes both ways with that. It's definitely not just oh wow, this is the first time thing. I've seen it quite a lot in a lot of my contracts. Like I said, I've been around a long time and been trying to get to be back on a factory team and with a group of guys that I think will compliment me, and hopefully I will then with the bike and the results, and I feel like when an opportunity like that comes around, especially in this 250 class, I've grabbed hold of it with both hands, and for us it's easy. We don't have to move. We already lived in Cairo. It's a pretty seamless transition, so it just made sense. So no, it's been very smooth and very easy so far. So far so good.